Games this weekend. Domonique Foxworth, Cowboys at Saints. What are you looking at?
Oh, I think it's a big game for the Cowboys. It's their first true test. They've blown out some teams that we don't think are very good, but they're going to be going up against an offense that looked really good, even with a backup Teddy Bridgewater in there, and they're going to be taking on a defense with a lot of playmakers. So I look to see the Cowboys step up and show us that they are as good as we all have said they've been, and they can continue to move forward in this division, in this conference.
And the next game's in the AFC East. Patriots and Bills both unbeaten. People aren't taking Buffalo that seriously. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I think Buffalo's defense is outstanding, so we'll see how good their defense is matching up against Tom Brady. But it's most important, I want to see what their offense does against this great defense. It's unlikely that they're going to win the division because no one wins that division but the Patriots. But if they want hope for a run at the wild card and maybe a playoff win, they need to show that they're a real team right now.
And finally, another matchup of unbeatens, Chiefs at Lions.
Oh, it's going to be fun because everything's fun when Patrick Mahomes is involved. The great thing about him, or the most impressive thing about him, is he has not regressed. He's unregressible. He's been playing every game that he showed up. He's been outstanding after game after game after game. So I just want to see that happen again. And the Lions, we'll see how good they really are, too.
It's really impossible to pick the one most impressive thing about Patrick Mahomes. Through 3 games this year, he has joined Peyton Manning in 2013 as the only quarterback to throw for 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 0 picks.
Wow.
Manning finished that season with the most passing yards in a single season in NFL history. Now, Lions cornerback Quandre Diggs was asked if he could see Mahomes going down as the greatest of all time.
To me, Tom Brady's going to be the best ever for my whole life. That's just how it is. But the way Pat's on, man, he's going to break every record in the NFL history if he keeps this up.
Okay, and listen, here's a little flashback. These two guys played against each other in college. That's Mahomes at Texas Tech. That's Diggs at Texas.
Yeah!
Oh! Wow. That was Diggs hitting Mahomes.
No.
Wow. So if you're wondering if these guys know each other, they know each other. Meanwhile, let's bring our Longhorn into this conversation. Acho, what is something that no one should try to do against Patrick Mahomes?
Well, public service announcement. Defenses, it's time to stop blitzing Pat Mahomes unless you want to send him into the Hall of Fame while he's still playing. Let's just take a look at the tape. Keep it simple. Chiefs versus the Ravens. Last week, the Ravens are in a field scrape. They're in a field scrape fire zone. You're bringing the nickel. You're bringing the plate side backer. That means Earl Thomas is off number 2. Sammy Watkins, linebacker, he's off number 3. But there's a reason number 3 goes by the name Killer Trav, because he is a killer. Well, defense, they're running. And the defense, you have a play clock on the blitz. But the play clock is like a Rolex because it never stops. Well, Pat Mahomes, when he backs up, he changes your internal play clock. So that's why you see both safeties breaking down. What makes Mahomes so great, off his back foot, he gets rid of the ball, not stepping into the throw, like a fadeaway jumper into the corner of the end zone, Demarcus Robinson, with a wonderful catch. So what makes Pat Mahomes so great is he not only destroys you when you try to run the blitz. How about this for a stat, Greeny? 12 touchdowns and 7 sacks when Pat Mahomes is blitzed. So again, do not blitz Pat Mahomes unless you have a Taylor on the sideline and you're ready to get him fit for a gold jacket.
That's really well done, but it does bring up the question, what do you do? I mean, you can't just quit when he's playing. Is the only answer you have to outscore him?
No. I mean, I think you do have to outscore him, but I disagree with Acho, frankly. Like, I think you have to blitz him. The breakdown in that situation was about the coverage. You have to get pressure on him. You know what happens when you give Pat Mahomes time? He can throw it further, farther, more accurately, off balance than anybody we've ever seen. So you don't want to give him time to break you down. You got to speed him up, in my mind.
Acho, come back over here, if you will, because he's disagreeing, and I liked your take on it. But listen, I mean, you guys are the experts, and I'm just sitting here listening. What do you make of that? That if you do not blitz him, then you're just letting him pick you apart?
No, I mean, if I'm playing against him, you try to disguise your defense, but I'm not blitzing him. I mean, literally, the stats speak for themselves. And again, it's not opinion, it's fact. At the point in which you blitz him, Greeny, and you have 12 touchdowns versus 7 interceptions, you're less likely to get a negative play than you are to get scored on. So you going to blitz them for what? I mean, defensive players and coaches, they think they're geniuses. Yeah, let's blitz them. We'll create a negative play. No, you're going to create 7 or 6 the other way.
I don't think teams have figured out the way to beat this guy yet. It's too early in his career to figure out how to slow him down. He's been, you know what, the Patriots did a pretty good job of it in the AFC Championship game last year, and even they struggled with it.
In the first half, they shut this Kansas City offense down to a degree that we really hadn't seen much of. And then he went nuts in the second half.
This Kansas City offense, to me, is different. Let's remember, last week they played without Tyreek Hill. Like, let's remember that.
Well, he hasn't played the season, basically.
Exactly.
The whole season.
So now, like, Pat Mahomes is not only going to Tyreek and Travis Kelce, which used to be his two go-tos, DeMarcus Robinson balling. Sammy Watkins is top 5 in the NFL in yards. Mecole Hardman is a bad man. They have just a plethora of weapons everywhere.
You telling us what we can't do, though. Tell us what we can do.
No, nothing. You know, as my friend Herman Edwards used to say, we receive. That's pretty much it. That's what you do when he walks out on the field. Shefty's got some other news for us. Coming out of Dallas, what's going on with Amari Cooper?
Had an MRI on his ankle. They don't believe it's serious. He's been playing with this throughout the course of the season, so they are hopeful that he'll just continue to roll on, catching touchdowns.